Here with Coach Sean Kiracofe. Coach, how's it going?
Always good.
Always good. Final week of the regular season. It's kind of crazy that it's here, but it is. On the road for one on Thursday, and then close out the season at home on Saturday. But take me back to last week first. Split UIW and Corpus in a thrilling match on Thursday. It was 5 sets, and we talked about it a little bit after that match on Saturday. Played much better than the first time we saw Corpus.
Yeah.
So do you feel like maybe going off the win on Thursday and how we played Saturday that we're playing some good volleyball at a really good time of the year?
I do. I absolutely do. And yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, you kind of flip those two and you play Corpus on Thursday, and then you kind of get to ride that high from a win off UIW on Saturday into this week. But, you know, I don't think it changes anything from a big picture of just we're playing better, we're more consistent. We're able to score in different ways. We talked about after the match in Corpus, we needed a little bit more production from the middles and the right sides. Not that they played poorly, but just that matchup just called for them to have to produce at a really high level, and we didn't quite get that. But I think it's been coming along, and I think in these next 2 matchups on Thursday and Saturday, we're in a good spot.
You mentioned the consistency. We've talked about that all season long, but over the past, I guess, month or maybe even since we started conference play, Bree and Simone have been neck and neck offensively in essentially every statistical category. What does that mean to have them, essentially 2 players that are producing at that level, and just going back and forth all conference schedule?
It's great, and it you can't ask for anything more, but we need a little bit more to be able to pull out some wins. But I believe that, that's just something that we've been pragmatically working on to improve throughout, the season, that it is starting to show up, and it's just, they're just doing a great job being consistent and producing for us.
Moving into this week, 2 matches, like I said, teams obviously we've already played before, but 2 matches where in the first meeting felt like things just kind of slipped away. And so to come back and to play them again, we didn't see Southeastern. It was the first match of the conference schedule. 2 totally different teams now probably in that first match, and now do you approach it almost as if it's a new opponent, even though you've already seen them once?
That's a great question, and my immediate answer is no, but maybe yes. It's really interesting, kind of full circle, that Southeastern, we talked about before, was not getting wins and appeared to be really struggling coming into the conference season, but their roster wasn't exactly what they thought it was going to be, so they scheduled a little bit differently than they may have, knowing that they were going to be a little bit younger in some positions going into this season. So I knew that they weren't as struggling as bad as their record appeared, and that showed. And they came and they were really hot there at the first half of the conference season. And here recently they've struggled a little bit. They're still pushing people and playing well, but they're not being able to kind of just get, they're not able to turn it into wins as the way they were the first half of the season, the conference season. They've had a couple little changes. They've had to make a change at libero, and I don't know exactly why. Recently they have changed into a 6-2, similar to us, and I don't know if that is a scout decision on how they match up with teams they're playing, or if something has happened to where they need to now. So in that case, yes, we have to approach them a little bit differently because they've been in a 6-2 the last couple matches. But at the same time, you still have Hidalgo on the outside, that's kind of just the majority of their offense is going to go through her, Crispin in the middle. And it just, a lot of things are similar, but there are some differences that we're going to have to approach.
You mentioned them moving into the 6-2, like we've seen from us the past few weeks. We were running the 5-1 for several weeks, first part of conference play. What's that switch like this late in the season for us offensively? Obviously, we've seen some production still, but just changing maybe the mentality on the floor offensively a little bit.
It just provides a different look for the other team, honestly, and kind of think that's just a big philosophical battle of volleyball, of you're still playing with those setters in practice every day, so it shouldn't be different, but to have a different set for one rotation compared to the other two, it's different enough that it can cause problems unless you're very good about just getting a ton of reps. So that's always a battle of like the 5-1 just allows you to have the consistency because you're getting the same ball from the same setter in every single rotation. But theoretically, you get more offensive options in a 6-2. You get a bigger block consistently at the net. But does the change back and forth from one setter to another cause enough of a disruption that it doesn't make as much sense? So, I mean, that's something that you could go back and forth again, and you just never get the right answer other than did we win or did we not win,
And then finally, a couple quick thoughts about the Nichols match, last home match of the season before conference tournament. And like I said earlier, a match where down in Thibodeau, just felt like we were right there.
Yeah.
Just we couldn't find those. Another thing we've talked about a lot of this year is those key plays, those key kills or key points late in the set, I guess.
I'd like to believe that it's going to be just like UIW, where in a lot of cases we felt like we were right there down in San Antonio, but just couldn't ever get a hold, and get on a roll. Same thing, like you said, at Nichols and Thibodeau. And so maybe just that comfort level of being back at home. I mean, I feel like we match up with them well. I feel like we did some good things down there. And now it's just a matter of just tying it together on a regular basis. So, yeah, hoping for that same kind of result to bounce back and just be at home and have a comfort level to get on a roll and take care of those tight situations and turn it into a win.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.